Hello, welcome back. With me in the studio is Conor Cabe. Conor is a writer and historian, and he wrote a book recently called Sins of Our Fathers. I think it's your fourth book, Conor, is it?
It is indeed, yes.
And it's tracing the decisions that shaped the Irish economy. Conor, how's it going?
Dean, hello, how are you?
Welcome to Dole TV.
Oh,
so, Conor, just to get us started, tell us a little bit about yourself and you're a historian. What does that mean?
Well, it's about kind of looking at how deep social forces move, and that's basically what I do. History, it's a canvas that enables you to observe these kind of social forces in motion. You know, it isn't really kind of possible, you know, in a kind of day by day kind of thing, but over kind of weeks, months, years, you see, you know, where power lies, you know, in a.
So to use an analogy, it's like geology, the study of rocks. Over time, you see certain things moving.
It is, yes, absolutely. You know.
So one of the things that has happened in Irish society is that working class people, in times of crisis, have kind of fought back. You know what I mean? Like we had the lockouts and we had PAYE marches in the 70s. What's different about now? Well,
I mean, what's kind of unique in our society at this moment is that in many ways we've lost something that we had. In previous struggles, we were fighting to gain something.
Yeah.
So if you're fighting or to gain something, there's a certain kind of learning curve that goes with that, and a kind of steel determination that goes part and parcel with the struggle. But if you're in a situation where you've had something or you feel kind of comfortable and then it's taken away from you, there's a certain shock, there's a certain kind of, you know, kind of disbelief, and the coping mechanisms that you fall back on in times of well-being are not the ones that get you through a time of crisis. And in many ways, after kind of 15, 20 years of partnership plus, if not kind of good times, certainly a feeling of kind of good times, we're still in that kind of sense of kind of disbelief. There are kind of more kind of deeper reasons that, you know, maybe there in terms of culture as well. But really, that's what's mainly different now, is that we've lost something as opposed to fighting to gain something.
Yeah, one of the points you make in your book is that the Irish economy is kind of, you know, we make short-sighted decisions and the economy is kind of built on sand.
Yeah.
You know, why do you think that that's the case?
Well, they're not short-sighted for those who they benefit. And how the Irish economy is run, and by extension parts of our kind of society, is that it benefits a certain type of kind of businessman. The best way I can think of explaining this is The Apprentice. Mm-hmm. If you've seen the UK one, it's Alan Sugar, and Alan Sugar is someone who he made stuff. He brought it to market and then he sold it, and that's what he was. That's how he made his millions at the very start. In Ireland, it's like Penny Apple's guy.
Bill.
It's a Bill Cullen. He's a used car dealer.
Yeah.
You know, he gets cars from France and then he sells them on here in Ireland.
So like rag and bone kind of industries.
It's a middleman. It's a middleman. He doesn't actually make anything. He doesn't do anything. He just brings stuff in and then he sells them. He buys for $1 and he sells for $2, and that's basically what he does. And that's a middleman type of kind of businessman. It's not someone who actually makes stuff. It's someone who sells other people's kind of produce.
And we have stuff in we have low corporation tax in this country, which seems to be the big hook to get people in. You know what I mean? And so, what's the kind of historical significance of that?
Well, I mean, again, it's about, you know, if your business model is based on servicing foreign companies who are coming in, it doesn't matter what they make. It doesn't matter who they employ. All that matters is that they're coming in, you know, because keeping them happy is how you get paid. So the whole kind of corporation tax thing. I mean, at the moment, there's about 98,000 people who are employed in foreign companies in Ireland, out of a workforce of 2.2 million, and out of a working, you know, so I mean, it's a very small part of the workforce, but yeah, that's what all the focus is on. It's because that money that enters into Ireland, that's how these guys, these kind of penny apple guys, that's how they get paid.
Yeah, and it's kind of the thing that keeps the IFC going over.
It is, absolutely, yeah.
So there is like a sense of helplessness and powerlessness in this country. Have you any clues about how we get out of this, or what the next stage is, or where is it going? Like based on kind of history.
I don't quite hold with the sense of kind of powerlessness. In the last general election, you had Fianna Fáil completely wiped out. Mm-hmm. That was a protest. That was a seismic shift in Irish society as well as in Irish politics. It was nowhere near enough to deal with the shitstorm that's actually hitting us now. But that's a difference, between coming out of a struggle, as in 1913, mm-hmm. and find yourself in one after years of having fairly kind of handy, times or whatever. It's a bit like, when someone gets thrown, onto a desert island. It takes them a while to work out how to make pointy sticks,
yeah.
And that's kind of what's going on now. Wherever people thought that getting rid of kind of Fianna Fáil would be enough, it's not, and now they're kind of learning that now. So
yeah.
It may take a few more years for our society to really kind of cop on the trouble that it's in, but that's we may have to wait for that.
Yeah, there's umpteen questions I want to ask you. It's very, very interesting what you're talking about. It's not something that we can get across in a very short interview like this. I urge people. I know you're not here on selling your book, or but I want to do that on your behalf. It's a really, really interesting read, and I urge people to get a copy of it. They can buy it online. They can buy it in any good bookshops. Conor, it was great to have you in.
Dean,
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Super.
Cheers.